Welcome everybody here to the Doublemint Cup Series, round of Pocono here, and let's go racing here. We are green. Already off to a good start. Betty Johnson in that 83 trying to look for victory here. Charles Sanford down to the bottom of the racetrack, looking to make the move in the inside groove. Here comes the Taxac machine for Stuart Haas Racing, trying to get the advantage off of corner number 1 there. Can't quite do it. And Dylan Schwalman's gonna push the 83 to the front there. A great restart for Sanford. It's not gonna pay off in the first corner though, as here they come into the treacherous tunnel turn. Several drivers could drive it in full throttle, some aren't able to. As there you see the pack still gaggled up in the back there and even in the front here. Betty Johnson with a comfortable lead there. But here they come into turn number 3. Charles Sanford dives in the inside there, underneath the 83 there for position, as there you see Kev Shears sitting in that 3rd spot there, trying to take it away from Dylan Schwalmberg. PJ Williams, the calendar winner, trying to go for 2 in a row here. And Chris Dodd making it 3 wide, trying to squeeze the issue there on the bottom, shoving PJ Williams up the hill. Schwalmberg holds his ground on the outside line, and Schwalmberg holds on to 4th, but we got ourselves a battle for the lead here. Charles Sanford looking underneath Betty Johnson there. Johnson dives it in hard there, but Sanford dives it in deeper. And Sanford gets the lead off of that 2nd corner. Johnson still holding high though. And Dylan Schwalmberg now to the bottom of the track, looking underneath, maybe even making it 3 wide for position. Sensational racing here in the early goings at Pocono here. Schwalmberg is making it 3 wide for the race lead. Sanford in the middle groove. Betty Johnson squeezed up top. And Dylan Schwalmberg looking low with teammate PJ Williams not too far behind. And Schwalmberg to the point there. Just like that, the car number 20 is in the lead there, as here they come down the back straightaway. Couple of cars with damage there, Fitzwater and Sekuli, but we're going to look at that later. And into the tunnel turn they go again. Schwalmberg dives it in deep. Sanford up top. And the 20 gets it a run. Great pass from Dylan Schwalmberg. A 3 wide maneuver pays off for the 20. And just like that, he's the leader already. But like I said, we're going to look near the back half of the field here. It looks like not many of them that started near the back are making their way up to the front quite yet, but we could see them in a later run here. Pat Johnson looking low underneath O'Neal Baldwin. He's one of the few bubble drivers trying to get in on points here. If we get multiple winners here, Schwalmberg looking for his 2nd victory of the season here. He won at Watkins Glen, and they're looking for a win here at Pocono today. Charles Sanford sitting in that 2nd spot though. He's also another bubble driver, but he's been rather consistent on the grid, so look out for him. PJ Williams had a win already. Like I mentioned, he won at Calder, so we could see a repeat winner here today with the chances so high. We see a lot of them running up front there. Another one, Cody Lamas, the Boston winner. Chris Dodd is, I believe, a 2-time winner in the series now. There, otherwise, a lot of them are just trying to make their way up into the pack here. A lot of them that are in Vince Freeze there. You see Nick Gunther, the Atlanta winner, hasn't really done much since that win, and well, he's trying to bring things back together so they can be championship caliber, because the 35 has been struggling all season here. Same thing with Kyle Matthews in the 24. They haven't really found much speed in their cars, so Kyle Matthews trying to set things right here in the latter half of this regular season. We don't have many races left until the chase starts, so you got to keep an eye on those that are not in so far. 3 wide maneuver there, and there goes the 46 spinning around out of the tunnel turn. Will Goss collected. William Brock piles in. Nick Gunther's got heavy front end damage as the field stacks up behind him. Caution is out, and there's Bill Gunther's car destroyed in the wreckage, and William Brock plows into the 34 head on. Zachary Fitzwater's into heavy damage to the 43. He can't catch a break so far in these past couple of races, and that is crucial for the 43 car, especially. Jack James, our Kansas winner, is involved. Gabe Williams, and lots of cars in the back collected there, and we are still crashing. Vince Freeze and Tommy Turbo have piled in, and they're trying to slow down from here on. But the caution is out for the very first time. A crash out of the tunnel turn, now turn 2, brings it the yellow flag out. Jessica Emery just dove it in deep and into Ryder Barnes and Pat Johnson's path. Will Goss had no place to go, but this helicopter can really much demonstrate the wreck. Annie Thomas swept up in it there. William Brock, there you see Gunther. He gets hit by the 18 there, and they're all stacking in at the end. Nothing they could do. And see Stegall running into the back of Fingai. There's Johnny Gardner, gets swept up, gets turned. Yeah, the 34 gets pretty much pulverized in the wreck. William Duncan got a little piece of it. He was pretty strong in the point scene, so that's not really going to matter. And there you see the head-on collision with the 7 there. But the 34 and the 7, they're obviously out of the race here, out of the running. Looks like car number 18 will be out as well. And coming to the caution flag there, it looks like there was some assistance there. Several cars, kind of some chain bumping there went wrong. And well, you saw the result there. Both Turbo and Freeze went for a spin into the turn 1 wall. Here they come to the restart box. Schwalmberg leads, green flag in the air. A great start for the 20 there, but car number 19 not too far behind. PJ Williams looking there. They're all single file. Watch them make a move into turn 1. Let's see who's going to be the first one to file the line in that pack. Sanford won the first few there. You saw a lot of them near the middle of the pack, gaggling their way to the front of the field here. Jeremy Jones trying to get around Jonathan Zorland. Chris Dodd trying to get around Annie Thomas and a couple of others. All stacked up there in that restart. Young now looking underneath car number 19 of PJ Williams to the inside. That Hooters machine has been strong this race. They were strong in qualifying, showing it right now in the race here that they're not a fluke there on the grid. Dylan Young's another consistent driver, also looking in for a win this season. Kev Shear, one of the few part-time drivers that are actually running full-time late in the going. Also one to look out for as well. He's had a pretty good average there. And it looks like we got a car coming down pit lane. Kyle Matthews looks like they're playing the pit road strategy. If not, they have a penalty there for car number 24. So a tough break for Kyle Matthews there. Either that, or we're just seeing pit strategy kick into play. But as of right now, Dylan Schwalmberg holding the lead here over Dylan Young. Kev Shear sitting in that 3rd spot. Betty Johnson in 4th there. Sanford is now in that 5th position there, trying to take 5th away from PJ Williams there, to see if they can do anything there. Oh, Betty Johnson got a little bit of got loose there in that 2nd corner there. It looks like Schwalmberg holding on to the lead, but there you see the 41 looking low. Kev Shear dives it in. Turn number 3, gets around Dylan Young. Slide job maneuver, and Kev Shear's car has been caught on fire here. That car is very fast on the grid here. So Kev Shear could steal one away here if he could pass that 20. He's looking low. Here he goes, a battle for the lead into turn number 1. Schwalmberg stays up high, Shear down low. And Kev Shear trying to wash up the track, trying to give the 20 a lack of momentum off of the first corner. They're not able to make it work, and Schwalmberg holds on to the lead. A very strong D-Wall car they made. Good adjustments to the Joe Gibbs racing machine. Another driver making their way up is Jessica Emery. She dives it into turn 2. She actually kind of caused that first wreck, so I don't think many are going to be popular with that move. But Emery now looking low. That 44 car is yet to win a race this season as well. And she is now on a hunt of charging past Dylan Schwalmberg for position here. And the 44 did have a massive run the front stretch. Schwalmberg stays up high, thinking that he has the better car than the 44. But I think that 44 is just plain faster than Dylan Schwalmberg. And a bit of contact there. Kev Shear up the racetrack there. Dylan Young certainly not happy with the 41 there. He got held up big time, looks like, or indicated that he was held up. And Richard Johnson able to pounce on all those spots there, as they are 3 wide down the back straightaway. Looks like they backed it down. Dylan Young is getting shoved up the hill there, certainly not getting the proper treatment he's wanted, and that's gonna mire him back in a lot of traffic for the 2 car. But as for Jessica Emery, she has taken the lead away from Dylan Schwalmberg. Schwalmberg, can he fight back on this 44 car? She could be unstoppable this race, and the caution is out. There's a crash, and a massive one, as Vince Freeze got lifted up in the air. Pat Johnson wrecked in there, as well as car number 6 of Duncan. There's Chris Dodd. The 47 of Roger Baranowski's there, in it as well. And the caution flying out. Looks like we got ourselves a wreck in turn number 3, and Emery took it, as we're going to take a look at the replay. Down the straightaway, looks like they were all junked up together, and pretty much Bear NASCAR's just watched up the track. Probably didn't know the 88 was right there, and put herself and Chris Dodd into the wall, and pretty much Dodd just drags the 47. Nothing he can really do. He's on the brakes there. The car gets loose. Tommy Turbo gets pretty lucky, but watch Vince Freeze in the picture. Piles in the 88, and then Pat Johnson just obliterates the 31, lifting him off all four wheels off the ground there. And Pat Johnson, just nothing he can do to control the car. Gets hit by William Duncan near the end. A violent wreck. Vince Freeze takes him out of the running here today at Pocono. And so is Pat Johnson, certainly not wanting to lose some points here today, but he's going to have to lose some here at the tricky triangle. Pace car is off, green flag back in the air. There you see Betty Johnson, the Cosmo Machine, making a move in the back. And look who's in second, Richard Johnson, trying to make a move down the inside of the 44 there. Richard Johnson hungry for his first win of the season here. He's won in the Doublemint Cup Series before. Can he do it again? He dives it in turn number 1. PJ Williams at the track, 3 wide near the back of the pack there. And even for the third spot there, Jeremy Jones trying to get around both his teammate and the 19. But can't quite make it work, as here they come into the tunnel turn. Richard Johnson just hounding the bumper of that 44 there. They are all getting aggressive here, and it's only lap number 18 for crying out loud. These guys are all in it to win it here at Pocono. Richard Johnson dives it in turn number 3 pretty well there, and Jessica Emery has to defend really well here if she wants to hold on to possibly get the victory here. Johnson down the inside. He's looking for that race lead. He wants the race lead. And he's certainly going to try and get it. Here they come into 1. Johnson's going to try and outbreak the 44 here. Living him up and try and get the exit off. And Johnson does, but looks like Emery's going to fight back on the top side. They are still side by side for the race lead. Jessica Emery and Johnson are neck and neck. And wow, PJ Williams got shoved up the racetrack there. Looks like a little bit of contact. Then the tunnel turn there, shoved him way up into the marbles. Looks like Jeremy Jones gave him probably some assistance there, and Richard Johnson inherits the lead away. Jeremy Jones is going to try and fly on by here with the second spot. Emery loses 2 spots just like that, and Jeremy Jones is now up to second. Can he go for the race lead? Now he's looking at the bottom of the track here. Jeremy Jones, the Truck Series winner, looking hungry for a cup win. Can he pull it off? Richard Johnson holds high, Jones down low. That freaky fast machine, the Jimmy Johns, is indeed freaky fast there. And he does take the lead. He clears Richard Johnson successfully. What a lead change there from Jeremy Jones. Good pass on the 4 team. Definitely made some right adjustments there as well. Livening up the racing mood here at Pocono, the tricky triangle. A lot of race fans are excited here so far. The racing has been fantastic. Emery looking low for second, trying to take it away from Johnson, and she does just like that. O'Neal Baldwin's made his way up into the pack, getting around Kev Shear for the 4th spot, maybe looking for 3rd underneath Richard Johnson. Teammates there, JT Bryant and Dylan Young, but PJ Williams looks low, trying to deny the 2. Up the racetrack, Williams goes, almost barely giving room to Dylan Young there and JT Bryant, but Williams getting aggressive here on this start here. They're certainly all trying. There's a single file train there. There you see Mike Hawk, Betty Johnson, Charles Sanford. These guys were bound for the lead earlier. Looks like the 3 got a bit of an assistance there off of 2. And look at how crammed these drivers can get. One mistake up front could lead to a massive accident, taking out a lot of contenders here for the running of Pocono. But Jessica Emery and Johnson are closing in on each other there. Those 2 have become inseparable here in this race so far, but Jeremy Jones is trying to run away from this. The gap didn't really do much. It actually lost some time somehow to the 44 and the 21 there. So those Fords are looking very good in the radar here on Jeremy Jones. There's Johnson still trying to get around Emery. He knows he's got a faster car, at least in his opinion he does. But O'Neal Baldwin's just been waiting to get a track position. That one team has been kind of struggling all season, and they're trying to bring things back and to play for the Ganassi Racing team here. They got car number 42 in victory lane. Can they get the 1 car in victory lane here today? Johnson looking low underneath Emery. Dives it in hard into turn 3. and he's going to be able to get it away. He clears the 44 again. These two are, like I said, have been inseparable. They've been battling it out for quite a while here today. Oh, good racing here in the crowd. PJ Williams now trying to look low underneath Kev Shear, maybe trying to get some proper side draft, decides not to, backs off, waits for the another chance at an overtake. Jeremy Jones just holding on to that lead. He's got about almost half a second away from Richard Johnson and Jessica Emery. O'Neal Baldwin looking for third here. He dives it in low. Can he get it? That Cessna machine looking very strong too, so we can't count him out. Dylan Young, a couple of others. Hernandez has made his way up into the field as well. Betty Johnson as in there, and they're really just bumping and banging there into turn 3. You saw some contact made between them. If you're wondering about Dylan Schwalmberg, they came in, they have reported they had a loose wheel, so they came in to pit lane to make sure, and that's why they're so far mired back in traffic. There's you see Schwalmberg now trying to get around Cody Lamas and Joey Murphy at the same time. Dives it in hard into turn 1, and he's able to do that with ease. He's running in make that the 18th spot now. He just passed 2 cars. He knows he's got a good car, and he's got to wait and hope for maybe even a caution if he wants to do something. Now he's looking underneath Tommy Turbo for position there, and looks like he's going to be able to. That 20 car is a very fast car in clean air, so if he gets up to that lead pack, if he can, this could be phenomenal for him. But right now, Emery and Baldwin are the ones battling it out for the 3rd spot. PJ Williams and Betty Johnson are just sitting there waiting for an opportunity to pounce. And Johnson goes low there underneath PJ Williams. She thought of making it 3 wide in the turn 1. Decides not to, backs off, but tries to get around both Williams and Baldwin. 2 spots in 1 go for car number 83. They've done something right with the adjustments to the Cosmo machine. They got the pole there, so certainly proving that their car was good. Is really good in this race so far. They haven't really done much to Jeremy Jones though, but they've really closed the gap here between them, looks like, but looks like it's probably extended actually a bit this time around. And Emery dives it in low into turn 3. Jeremy Jones way up the track there, and this is going to help that 44 gain some time on the Jimmy John's machine. Betty Johnson up to 3rd now, looking for 2nd. That 83 car, that Toyota, is looking really good on the radar here, so she could be a potential dark horse to win here. There you see Luis Hernandez now making it 3 wide into turn number 1. Almost made it 3 wide to be exact, but it was rather close there. So Hernandez certainly one of the fewer cars that are also fast in the grid here. I think a lot of these drivers in the top 10 have clocked in one of the fastest lap times of the race here. Dylan Schwalmberg has made his way up to the 15th spot there. Got around Charles Sanford and Jonathan Rains. Now trying to catch car number 3 of Mike Hogg there. And he hasn't really done much in the race either, but they're certainly trying to bring things together. Car number 4 has just been the dominant car here today. You can't really deny that ever since he took the lead. Nobody's really challenged him, but Betty Johnson could be one to decide it all. Same thing with Emery, but pit stops will be kicking into play here. JT Bryant still battling teammate Dylan Young for position. Those two have been going at it for quite some time there. Ryder Barnes in the 46. Yeah, remember she had damage in an accident from what I recollect. So they've done something well with the 46 car, so it's a good comeback story for Ryder Barnes there. Remember Pat Johnson, yeah, they got together, so they've definitely done something well with the 46 car. But Jeremy Jones has just really done nothing. He's just running his own racing line right now. But Betty Johnson, with the dirty air and the suck-up, has been able to catch that 4 car here just a bit. Will Betty Johnson do something about it? 2 black and white cars in red, with some red on it, are going to be the ones battling out, it looks like, because right now the battle for 3rd is on between PJ Williams and Emery. Emery stays up high. PJ Williams decides to back off. But Richard Johnson still with that run of a lifetime there. And he bumps PJ Williams there into turn 2. So PJ Williams certainly a pinball on the racetrack here. So not many, I guess not many like PJ Williams there, because he's probably one of the more aggressive drivers on the circuit. You can't blame him though. He knows what he needs to do. He was the points leader at some point, and well, certainly right now, this could help him a lot with consistency there for car number 19. But right now, Jeremy Jones still your leader there. He's led the most laps so far. Betty Johnson still sitting in that second position. If you're wondering, Dylan Schwalmberg has really caught the field here. He's now up to 11th, so now trying to get a top 10 spot from JT Bryant. This 20 car has been on basically been on a tear here, and he's been gaining position after position, now getting 10th away from JT Bryant. I think the 20's got a lot fresher tires than the rest of the field does, so Dylan Schwalmberg certainly very happy with the handling of his car here. But the battle for the lead is going to be on. Betty Johnson has reeled in Jeremy Jones. She's looking low here and dives it in hard there. Betty Johnson now has taken the lead away from Jeremy Jones. Jones now holding strong on the outside groove. Can't quite close it in. And yep, Betty Johnson just took it away just like that. That's how easy it is for them. Kyle Matthews has come down pit lane yet again. So it looks like the 24 has just been struggling with this handling of the car. There you see Audrey Baranowski's coming in. She had damage from an earlier accident there, so pretty much it's all died down in the field here. A lot of drivers taking it nice and easy now, because this is where the green flag run's going to kick in. But Jones fights back on the inside, looking to take the lead away back, and he does. Jeremy Jones crisscrosses Betty Johnson to take the lead away. That just shows the determination these two drivers are going to have here. A lot of respect given between the two. They know they all each have a shot at winning, and this shot could be their only opportunity of making the chase here. Hernandez comes down pit lane. Looks like they're deciding on the pit strategy here. They might lead this green flag cycle stops, because we got more takers. Dylan Young, Mike Hawk, Tommy Turbo, our Michigan and SWAR winner. There's see Finn Guy, Annie Thomas, a couple of others there, but a lot of them are mostly back markers there besides Young and the others there. But right now, really, pretty much these two have been going at it, but Jack James is in the way of the 4. And Betty Johnson's going to slip on by without much of a hassle there. And Jeremy Jones is able to get around the 42, but still on the bumper of that 83 there. So Jeremy Jones doesn't really lose much momentum, but he does at certain areas of the track. And he's faster, I bet you, than the 83 in turn number 1 and 2. That's probably where his strong corners are. And looks like we've got ourselves green flag pit stops here. Schwalmberg is going to stay out an extra lap here. He's been one of the faster cars here in the track, so he's certainly not surprising to see Dylan Schwalmberg, the dark horse, to win this one, or even the predicted winner in this series so far. Kev Shear, Jonathan Zorlan are also the only few that stayed out. Jonathan Rains in the same boat. Maybe they're all trying to hope for a caution, or maybe even gain some track position here. But Dylan Schwalmberg has just been doing good here. Hernandez looks like he just came out ahead of Dylan Young, looks like, so he's done something right with that car. Kyle Matthews, remember, he pitted earlier than everybody else, so he's also trying to march his way up. Dylan Schwalmberg looks like they might be able to box this time here. Certainly trying to get themselves in a good fuel window here for the car number 20. They're going to come in this time, and looks like that's going to end our cycle pit stops here. Let's see, there's Rains coming in. We're going to look wherever the leaders are going to be once they cross the line. Dylan Schwalmberg just done a great job here in this 20 car. They are one of the fastest cars on the grid. They ran a 49.2, which is actually third quickest there in the 20. So Joe Gibbs Racing has definitely improved their speed as normal with 20 and the car number 20 and 19. But if you're wondering, Luis Hernandez has beaten the 4 and the 83 out of pit lane. Kyle Matthews has been on the tear as well. He's been on the charge here, trying to get around them as well. So good pit strategy could work out for the 24 here. Schwalmberg comes out. I don't think they're really going to do much. Hernandez is just, I think, too fast. Let's see where they cycle out. Yeah, they definitely get passed by Hernandez, Jones, and Matthews there, as well as Johnson. So Schwalmberg did gain some track position there. So right now, Hernandez will be cycled up as your leader. Johnson second. At least Betty Johnson it is. Jeremy Jones in third. Kyle Matthews in fourth. Now looking for third. Then you got Richard Johnson in that fifth spot there. Schwalmberg sixth. So he did gain some track position there. Good strategy for the 20 team. So they done something right with the car. And with fresher tires, this could kick in for him. Obviously, they got to get up to speed, so they won't be like that off the bat, as Dylan Young does pass the 20 there with ease. But either way, still a good day to track position for the 20 team. It looks like we got a couple of losers there on pit lane. Looks like the 44 and the 19 definitely lost some track position on track there due to their poor pit stops. So this is not good for them. They had a good shot at winning. Jessica Emery is one of the few. Same thing, PJ Williams. So Emery now trying to make it 3 wide into the first corner there, trying to make Zorlin make a mistake as well as Mycock. And they come off at turn number 1 and really not able to make it work. But car number 33, we've seen what this car can do. They made it in on a needle at Ricky Raceway. They're trying to make themselves on a needle again, this time at Pocono, with so few races remaining. We don't have much time left and much spots left, so if these winners keep racking up different winners, this could mess up the chase grid by a long shot. For those that are trying to make it in on points, this is disastrous for them. As Kyle Matthews now looking for second, and Richard Johnson does the same for the 4th spot. So really they're doing something that the others haven't been able to do, and that is to be in contention for a victory here, as Schwalmberg does look underneath Dylan Young for track position there. His 20 car has been looking very good on the radar, like I mentioned. He's been one of the faster cars today, so we might want to keep an eye on him on fresh rubber and into a long run trim. But right now Hernandez has been really pretty much the quiet guy. Jeremy Jones has been leading a lot of the race so far, and he hasn't really died down since then, but he's in that 3rd spot now, so he's looking to try and take the lead away from car number 33. One guy that we mentioned that was up front earlier was Onium Balvin. They have dropped a lot of positions. Looks like they had a lengthy pit stop, so that really is going to cost them a lot of track position on here at Pocono. So that's certainly going to be an end to their good run unless a caution comes out late in the going here. So we may never know when that will occur. So this could quite get interesting if we do have a caution on the racetrack. But Hernandez has got about a solid 2nd gap over Betty Johnson. Matthews now still trying to take 3rd away from Jeremy Jones and blocks Richard Johnson in the process, and now he's going to be trying to get on the charge here to the 33. Remember, Kyle Matthews was one of the earlier pitters on the track, so we might see him pull maybe another pit stop or so. That's what we might see from these other drivers here. As there you see Emery and Kev Shear battling it out for the all-important 9th position there. PJ Williams trying to make the move down the inside of the 44, maybe trying to get some side draft into turn number 1. And trying to get in the corner pan to loosen up the 44 so we can get the spot there. Try to tighten her up. The racetrack, make the car push, and it's not able to work, looks like. So PJ Williams still kind of struggling to get around him. Dylan Young hasn't been the fastest all race, but even so, an excellent run for the tube car here. Luis Hernandez is looking for his first victory of the season here. Betty Johnson in the same boat as well. Matthews looking for win number 2 of the Doublemint Cup Series here. So he's running in that 3rd spot. Car number 24 looks better in the long run here. So we might see Kyle Matthews do something about it in the Exalta machine. As for Richard Johnson and Jeremy Jones, they've kind of been sitting there on their little island trying to get things down. Dylan Schwalmberg still closing in the gap on all of them. He's been running faster laps. He ran a 50.2. That's what the leader ran compared to Schwalmberg's 49.5. So that's about half a second faster than the leader. So Dylan Schwalmberg certainly looking very strong. He's got a lot of racetrack to himself. As there you see Kev Shear there with Jonathan Zorlin there. Zorlin's been rather quiet all race, so he hasn't really been able to cause much trouble, which is a good thing for him. Good points day for car number 5 there. You see Charles Sanford trying to get around PJ Williams for the 11th position there. And he does. JT Bryant quietly running in that 13th spot. He's really not done much this season, so he's been rather quiet on the radar. So it's kind of a bit devastating for car number 12 to not do much, but really the gap has closed down a lot. It was a second few laps ago. Now it's down to a 10th. As Matthews did try to look low there, didn't quite make it stick there. But Betty Johnson's on the door of the 33 there off the quarter panel, off of corner number 1. And that 83 is just looking very strong. She's hungry. Hernandez is hungry. And so is Matthews. And Matthews dives it in the tunnel turn really smoothly. And looking low underneath the 83, can't quite do it. Richard Johnson's there now, pouncing on the mix as well. So this could be a 4-car race. Johnson dives it in low, looking underneath Kyle Matthews. And he takes it away, clears the 24, but Matthews fights back on the outside groove. Can't quite do it, but Johnson's still holding that in the middle groove there, trying to maybe get that 24 to lose its momentum into the first corner. And looks like he's able to do that, but that's going to really close the gap here for Jeremy Jones, now ready to attack the 24. I think those tires are kicking in for Kyle Matthews here, because now you see the 20 car making his way up. But right now, looking at the lead, Betty Johnson and Hernandez are going to be the ones to battle it out here with almost 10 laps to go. Once they cross the line, it will begin that 10-lap cycle here. And this will be quite interesting. You see Charles Sanford there in the 10 car actually making his way up, better off in this long run as well. Hernandez went up a bit too high there. Johnson did the same mistake. As there you see the 24, 4, and 21 are all going at it. There you see Dylan Schwalberg peering into the picture. But really, Luis Hernandez has been holding on for dear life here. He's got 10 laps to do it. Betty Johnson sitting in that second spot. She's been trying to get some draft, maybe even go for a slingshot maneuver if she's got enough momentum on this 33 machine. The Acme Chevrolet has just been pretty consistent with his car all day, and with a good pit stop, they put him in the lead as a result. So Hernandez, their crew chief, has done a good job there. As there you see Kyle Matthews now quietly running in that third spot. The question is, does he have enough gas to even make it home? Schwalberg now looking underneath Richard Johnson for 5th, and he's going to be able to. And the caution is out on the track. Looks like Cody Lamas had an issue with the motor of his car, and that's going to end what was going to be a solid green flag run to the end. And that's going to spicing things up for Luis Hernandez and the rest of the gang here at Pocono. This is going to bunch the field back together. Yep, something blew from the 48 and they immediately brought it out. Obviously still said green flag, but NASCAR officials wanted to check to see if there was any oil on the track because of the 48, and they confirmed it, and that's why the caution came out. Cody Lamas, his car has blown up to shreds, but good thing is he's in the chase already, so it's not really going to matter for Cody Lamas' case here, but a tough break for the low Chevrolet. Not really able to catch a break here so far in the summer half of the season. Here they go, coming to the green. Dylan Schwalberg, he's got, looks like 5 laps to give it all. Green flag in the air. Zorlin looking low. There you see car number 5, the Great Clips machine, trying to split the gap here. And there you see Emery looking down to the bottom of the track. JT Bryant's in the mix there. Good stop under caution. Helped that 12 car cushion his position there, his track position. And Zorlin fights up top. Remember, Schwalberg is on slightly older tires here, so we're going to have to see the after effects of wearability and durability of these tires here. So Dylan Schwalberg trying to run away with this race here. Jonathan Zorlin in second though. Emery looking in third. There you see another driver making his way back up for good recoveries. Kev Shearer running in that 5th spot. Betty Johnson making her way up. Theo Segal bit out of shape off the second corner there. As there you see Young and Matthews are all hounding the 16 there. Hernandez dropped a lot of spots in pit lane, and I think his chances of winning are done for the day. But right now, focusing on the lead with Dylan Schwalberg and Jonathan Zorlin. Jessica Emery now looking for second. Looking underneath car number 5. She dives it in turn number 1, decides to back off, knowing that it wouldn't work. But Jonathan Zorlin looking for that first victory here. Car number 5 trying to be back in victory lane again. We've seen this before. O'Neal Baldwin won in this car last season in the chase, in the actually in the regular season, but not able to catch car number 20 there. Dylan Schwalberg's just done a good job defending his line. He had an issue in pit lane earlier in the race, hadn't been mired back in traffic, made his way to the top 10 at the end of the run, and when a caution came out, this could help the 20 car with a second win this season. 3 to go. PJ Williams now looking for the 8th spot underneath Jonathan Reigns. There you see Hernandez there in the 33, not too far behind. They dive it into turn 1, the 38 backs off, but gets the proper exit and center off of turn number 1. JT Bryant now looking for 3rd, trying to get some draft on that 44 there. Kev Shear waiting in the distance there, maybe trying to wait and observe the attack from the 12 car. But there you see the outer tires kicking in. Jonathan Zorlin is on the bumper of the 20. Looking, can he make a move into turn number 3? And it looks like he backs off. Schwalmberg's going to get the good center off there. And here comes some drivers coming on pit lane. Looks like they're out of gas. They're not going to be able to make it to the end. So, looks like Emery, Bryant, and Baldwin are out of it here. With 2 laps to go, Dylan Schwalmberg holding onto the lead with old tires. Jonathan Zorlin in 2nd. Now we saw those 3 come down pit lane. The question is, does Dylan Schwalmberg have enough to make it to the end? Kev Shear just trying to hold on to bet from Betty Johnson. Johnson's had one of the faster cars all race, but hasn't been able to get that lead ever since then. Dylan Young dives underneath Charles Sanford there, and here we go. Jonathan Zorlin looking low, Schwalmberg up high. And Schwalmberg holds that upper groove. Zorlin backs off. Not able to do anything. I don't think the 5 has enough momentum there. He lost a lot of time there. And here they come to the white flag. 1 more lap to go. Dylan Schwalmberg in the lead here in the DeWalt Camry. The battle for 3rd is on. Dylan Young trying to take it away from the 83, and he does. Dylan Young with a 3rd place pass there. Great pass from the 2 there. The 2 machine looking very strong. But right now, the battle for the lead is going to be on. Jonathan Zorlin's got only 2 more corners to nail down if he wants to pass Dylan Schwalmberg. The tunnel turn, they enter it as they already passed that long pond straightaway into the straightaway. Another mini straightaway here. Dylan Schwalmberg, he's got only 1 more corner to nail. Here they come into turn number 3. Schwalmberg just trying to hold on for dear life with old tires. And what a great strategy call from JGR, and Dylan Schwalmberg finds victory lane again, and this time it's at Pocono. What a way to end this race. Dylan Schwalmberg takes the victory here, his 2nd win of the season here in car number 20. What a run for Dylan Schwalmberg here today. O'Neal Baldwin will, not O'Neal Baldwin, but Jonathan Zorlin will end up just short. Dylan Young, you gotta give a shout out to him, gets a top 3 run there. This is gonna help a lot of the bubble drivers here. For Dylan Young, Charles Sanford, and a few others there. I believe car number 3 will end up not just short of a top 10, but excellent runs for some of them. Looks like PJ Williams has ran out of gas there, so they were lucky to make it to the end. He gets a 9th there. Good run for the 19 there. They're going to gain a lot of points in the regular season standings. But look at that. What a race there at the end. Dylan Schwalmberg was just made it on gas here. And what a way to end the race here. Schwalmberg wins, and looking through the rest on 28th. And then all the way down to last. Only a few cautions on the track. Good racing near the end there. Schwalmberg takes the victory here. His 2nd one of the season, and I believe his 3rd win overall. We'll look at the point standings here shortly after. As the races are winding down, drivers will be getting more and more desperate, and we might be able to see a lot more accidents because of the desperation they're going to get a W here in the Doublemint Cup Series.